Welcome back everyone to a Last Day on Earth bonds / apartment / renting storage explanation like video. I know it looks very confusing on the surface, but once you get it, it just kind of clicks. And all of it, earning bonds, apartments, renting storages, all kind of directly correlate with one another, so I hope I can do my best to untangle this messy confusion the update has provided, and hopefully do my best to explain how everything works. Oh, and hopefully PvP video later today. We'll see. First and foremost, you're going to want to level up your business to level 40. Ideally, you're then close enough to push it to level 50 and unlock extra pocket at the crater, which is such a big help and makes life so much easier, but it is only necessary to get to level 40 to start unlocking everything. That being the rented storages, the apartments, etc. You'll want to push these levels as fast as possible, as with this rental system, you'll be able to collect bonds daily. So while you go on with your life, playing the crater, doing something else, whatever that may be, your rented storage will be getting you bonds. Note that the higher level business you are, the more people will see your storage and rent from you, but again, it is not necessary. Leveling this far up will unlock apartments, which is directly tied to bond production. I'll get to that a lot more in depth in a moment, but now, no, you only need to get to level 40 in business levels as the very bare minimum. If you are a very hardcore player like myself, you can push higher level in reputation, which will allow more players to see your rented storages, but again, it is not necessary to get that high leveled. Once you've reached level 40, you'll unlock the station with bonds. Go over to this NPC and you'll see 3 options you'll be able to rent storage from, or you'll be able to buy storage originally and then rent out. Everyone starts out with a basic level 1 storage, just one of these, but you can ultimately buy more later on. In general, all of the options, the first, second, or third, will cost a lot of counterfoil and be crazy expensive. But remember, this is very long game style content. The prices for buying these boxes will scale up exponentially the more you buy and continue to cost counterfoil, not bonds or coupons or whatever. It will continue to stay counterfoil, which is also very taxing on your counterfoil storages. You can buy a maximum of 10 for each category. When you buy these newly bought storages will be slots other players see when they go over to this NPC. When people rent your storage, instead of the storage slot showing the number 3 or number 2, crater administration location, it'll have a player's name as the storage is being rented by that player. All storage rentals last for 7 days. The first option costs 55,000 counterfoil for the first initial container to buy and gives you 1,000 bonds per day. Assuming you max out and buy all 10 containers, that is a total of 10,000 bonds each day, assuming somebody is, quote, renting the storage. For the first box, although this one is the cheapest, it is the least valued counterfoil to bond ratio out of the 3 options. For 1 bond, you are essentially paying 55 counterfoil, assuming for 1 day. Obviously, as time goes on, this will level out, but the other ones ultimately have much better ratios. The second option costs 100,000 counterfoil for the first initial level and gives you 2,000 bonds per day. Assuming this storage system is maxed out at 10, that is a total of 20,000 bonds per day. And for the first box, this option and the third option are the most valued counterfoil to bond ratios at 50 counterfoil for 1 bond, assuming just 1 day. The third and most expensive option out of the bunch costs a total of 150,000 counterfoil for the first box and continues to scale up in counterfoil price as you buy more. Assuming you get 10, that is a total of 30,000 counterfoil per day. And as I said previously, this and the second option are the most valued, the numbers based on the first initial box price, counterfoil to bond ratio there is. Obviously, these numbers will escalate with the more storages you buy, and I'd like to double check on these numbers prior to publishing, so I will probably make that an actual video later on at some point. So subscribe. Totaling all of these numbers, if you buy every single box for, who knows, probably a crazy amount of counterfoil. That's a total of 60,000 bonds each and every single day if people are renting out every single one of your storages. And that, while it may seem like a lot, it really is not, especially once we move into the next steps of this guide, apartments and furniture. So once the bonds start rolling in, you're finally ready to move towards apartments. However, the first few levels to level up your apartment require counterfoil, not yet bonds. Take note that this will not be the case for a long time, as the more you level up, eventually you will get to a point where it will require bonds from then forward. I've got to double check my numbers before publishing again, but it costs around 2 million bonds to level up your apartment all the way to max. And that's not counting the counterfoil it will take your apartment to get to. You're going to need an additional amount of counterfoil on top of the bond amount in order to even get to max apartment level. And over here is where you'll be able to enter your apartment and upgrade it. You can see the stats listed here too, how many people can visit your apartment at one time, etc. You can visit the bases for those in your clan, those on your friends list, and I believe those that you have the in-game ID for. However, you can only have a set number of people at your apartment at one time, and the higher level your apartment, the more people you can have inside, and the more rooms you will have. But again, that's going to be a very long time. As I've said, it's right about 2 million bonds in order to get to max, which is crazy high. And even once you have your apartment high leveled enough to move in and have like some breathing room, honestly, these apartments must be in some very expensive city, because that is a crazy high price, even for real life. But once you move in, you're going to want to fill your apartment with furniture, both because it looks nice and because the more furniture you have, the more reputation you'll get. Yeah, remember that. The ultimate goal of playing at the Crater, getting more reputation. Over near the station where you'll go in order to view other districts and buy stuff, there's a new button stating furniture store. Here you'll be able to buy items for your apartment. There's stuff for new wallpaper, new flooring, furniture, chairs, stuff you would have in your bathroom, or stuff like that. Some of this stuff reduces hunger, some reduces thirst, some allows you to even use the bathroom to increase your stink so that then you can take a shower. It'll cost bonds and counterfoil depending on what you'll buy, and if you're aiming for reputation points, buy everything. Even if the stuff looks bad, even if you don't hang it up in your apartment, it'll still give you reputation points. However, make sure you do that later on, as you're going to need your counterfoil and your bonds to level up your apartment. Or if you see something good, you can just buy it. The shop resets every hours and can be sped up with coins. So yeah, after all that work, from getting storages, to getting bonds, to getting a higher level apartment, to getting furniture, you're set. Or, you know, you could just skip all that and buy a bunch of bonds in the shop. Wait, what? You gotta be. Subscribe if you haven't, join my Discord. I'm going to be doing videos on the exact numbers for everything you need. Later on, I just want to double check my numbers and make sure they're 100% up to accuracy, because every single time I have numbers, LDUE loves to change them. Gotta love it. Consider subscribing, be tuned for those videos, join my Discord right over there. I'll probably do pings and probably a giveaway this quote-unquote event PvP LDUE time. I'm so tempted to say season, but it's not a season. Made that very clear. Alright, subscribe, ZDYT.